about, we see one of the two spawn doors, this is symmetrical on each side, one of the two spawn doors looks directly onto the final point and vice versa. So there's a situation where people are going to be coming out of spawn shooting, and people on the point will want to be shooting back. The clarification he made there is that if you are indeed battling for the final, if people are shooting at you, you can shoot back. That's a situation where there will be fire at a spawn door. There is another spawn door teams can use to get out without taking fire. And if you're not fighting on the final, you have no business shooting at the door. And both teams have readied up. We're underway, 8 on 7. Tool and GCI going at it. We're going to watch the middle, see who gets here first. See what routes they take. This is a very large and complex map for 9-player teams. With fewer than 9, it's going to be even more difficult for them to really cover all the various routes that is possible for people to come. So I expect we'll see teams really focusing on 1 or 2 routes and hoping that that they guessed correctly and their flanks are protected. We see a combo coming in at the lead for GCI. GCI not running any scouts, so the combo actually makes it to the front fastest. Tool seizes the high ground pronto. Get a mini sentry up there, built by Big Hulk, I believe that would be. Yep. He grabs it down, places a new one. And we have our first cap. Tool takes control of the center. They have a man advantage, not just +1 at all times because of the team difference at the moment, but also as a result of that. However, that combo does its work, and GCI pushing back towards center threatening. However, there's an Uber coming in. The Uber for Tool, pushing him back.
Big Hawk doing a good job with that mini sentry, getting it behind where GCI was expecting it.
Yes, he is, and he is helping lead the charge onto the point. Engineer, medic, and a pyro there. Oh, look at those crits coming in. That was a Crockett, but they're still going to manage to take the next one. Like you said, excellent job there by Big Hulk getting those things built. Look at the quick movement going towards final there. GCI has got itself out and is creating a little bit of a line out there. We see a mini sentry coming up for them as well from Shriek Farms. Looks like there's going to be an Uber advantage with Big Earn popping his Uber first over for Tool. If he doesn't hold it, Morio will be shortly behind on GCI's path. Ooh, we see a nice attack squad forming up there. One of those Ubers is ready. Oh, they run. It's a crits Uber. They're using it on a demo. See Jesus Faction, a very dangerous demo man, and that most of us know. And Pyro's on the point. This is dangerous. There's the first cap just like that. Less than 2.5, well, barely over 2.5 minutes in, Tool has first cap.
Unfor doing a good job there, keeping GCI paranoid.
He is a damn good spy, and this is a spy map for somebody like him. I would not want to be having to worry about him at my back.
Tool going for that high ground again with their NG and a pyro off.
Nice shot by Mega Kairops, taking Bad Street out of the air. Odd Job and Jesus Faction between them getting an awful lot of kills. Mega, another nice shot. Looks like there's a spy's going to be working in the area around him. Might try to take him down. Oh, there's a third. He's personally dealing with that point. He's going to get blown up by one of Jesus's grenades. He took out an awful lot of Tool players, but he couldn't do it by himself, and Tool has middle again. Ooh, nice little spy kill there with the revolver by Unfor. They got an Uber active on the point. That is Zorvius, I believe, who popped that Uber, yep. Mini sentry action, doing a great job, and rushing to final. Spy on final, facing down against Shrita's medic, he goes down. But we see the kind of quick action that can occur here already. Another mini sentry in on final. And an offensive mini sentry. It goes down, and we see the GCI combo of Fiend and Jim. They're going to push back and see if they can move this front line a little farther. With 7 people, it's so hard to cover all the routes in on final. As soon as they go one way, it's going to feel like they're getting flanked another way.
Yeah, I mean, you were just talking about how hard it would be with 9 people and playing short-handed here. Just
yeah. I mean, Tool, all credit to Tool. Yes, they're up a person, but they also clearly came with a plan, and they know exactly what they're doing. Moving fast, pausing at the right moments. We're going to see Jim pop an Uber there. He does. It's a crits, and the crits does not protect against backstabs. Unfor takes out the combo, and that opens up a Pyro to go in with a medic against the final. There are defenders. It's a defending combo using a Vaccinator. That will do well, but Air Blast will clear him off the point. Oh, a last-second shot by No Peace for You. Takes him out from the side. The Air Blast was going to get him that point, but it didn't quite do it. Meanwhile, if GCI can get a person out to the second point, they're almost capped on that one, and that will be good. Looks like they're holding their entire offensive unit, though, as a defense at the moment. Nice shot by Mega Crossing. Drives away the probing heavy. It's Odd Job over there with Bigger, and they're looking on the side. Bigger and with a Crits Krieg at a little over 90%. You just saw what happens with one-hit kills against Critses. If he's able to knock those people out, it will help the rest of his team if he can stay alive. He gets taken down by a sticky bomb from Umoria.
Alert! Our last control point is being captured.
Tool spies onto it. Oh, again, the soldier, Nerving King, jumps in there. Jim runs up to help, and they manage to hold with just a hair left on it. We know that there's the Pyro, runs in the middle of the defenders. They stood off it for one moment, and we have Bad Street capturing the base. That's 2 points to Tool. Tool keeping the pressure on hard, not giving any space, using their extra man when they can, and claiming the high ground we saw repeatedly in the center. We're going to see if we have that a third time here. Mega Kairops deadly on Sniper over on GCI, did a good job on that one. Held off the center for a little while, but they're going to need to get a solution to take the center to start it off and prevent another push like that.
Tool going right up top again, dropping that mini.
Okay, they've learned about the mini. We see a soldier, a demo man, Umoria, went up to get it, and now Mega shoots the gun down. See a spy going in, Unfor chasing after the GCI medic. He gets found out, has to cloak away without a kill. And there's the cap. Big Culk running around, getting those guns up. The rest of the team just focusing on that objective, which is what's absolutely critical. But unlike the previous time they did this, they did not wipe out the entire opposing team in the process. GCI much better about preserving themselves. And there's the spy, Unfor again, stabbing Fiend down.
He chased that medic the entire way around the back and then just came right up back with the heavy.
And Jesus Faction gets by himself into the back. Unfor back there to help. Unfor takes out the one defender, giving Jesus some trouble. Uber comes in as well. See Mega Kairops trapped by himself with 4 attackers coming onto him. Tool is pushing very hard right here. There's an Uber coming in. Demo combo from one side, spy on the point. They're going to have trouble even with that vaccinated heavy attacking. There's a third cap. Odd Job this time, getting it as the heavy. A reminder is that it's now 3-0 with more than half of time remaining. If it makes it to 5-0, that will end this half of the match. Tool will get the win and 5 match points.
GCI still running 2 medics. I wonder if they should try to trot out a little more firepower.
It feels like they might need it, or just regular Ubers. I'm seeing a lot of Critses and Vaccinators where I would like to see regular Ubers. Regular Ubers stop everything. No matter what, you do not die when you're using a regular Uber. And it's one argument I've always had. There we go, Umoria gets the gun before it's even up this time. They are learning and adapting. Let's see if they can get that to happen soon enough to stop a rout.
They got their 8th player inbound right now, even things up.
Oh, very good. That'll make things interesting. See if it makes a big difference here. Unfor getting a couple of stabs there, though. Hulk has his mini out. He looks like he's stranded by himself. There's another... Oh, a combo came around back. Biggern with the saw kill. Oh, and is isolated. This is... GCI has the advantage in center. They're on the point. Look at those stabs by Unfor. He's now isolated against a medic. Shoots the medic down. Unforgiven. Saves the cap for his team. They now have a man advantage in terms of spawn people. They need to get their team out. And Unfor moving off the point to stay hidden. There he is. He joins back in as soon as the rest of his team is there to support. And they're going to reverse that cap if they can. However, that did also buy time for some of GCI's down players, and we see Siegfried joining. Siegfried coming to make it even, 8 versus 8. Siegfried, another of our experienced players. He's participated on some reasonable successful team last year. He was on God, Group of Drunks, which ended up 2nd place in the Ville Cup. I believe he was one of their strategists, if I recall correctly. See if he can help with the strategy.
He's gone demo form, so we're rolling 2 demos now.
Yes, he was in fact, I believe he was God's lieutenant last year, so definitely an organizer and a strategist. See if he's able to come in and help out. But in the meantime, Tool has taken the middle, and they do have a advantage in terms of men, 7-4.
The control point is being
Big push
contested.
going through, and again on the next point.
They popped an Uber just the right time there.
They did, and that entire team is up. It's now 8 on 5. They've taken the 2nd point. They're going high road. Looks like they're going to go through the low right. Mega Kairos coming up behind them. They're going to try the exact same routing as last time, this time critzing the demo in instead of Ubering him in. And those crits just took out a lot of important people. However, we see a back cap, a counter cap going behind if they can keep Unfor from taking the final point. There's a soldier, no piece for you. He's versus one pyro, the pyro defends. Bad Street saving the point. Unfor staying alive. Oh my goodness. Dead Rings stays alive, and Solo caps the final point, it looks like. So it is 4-0 in favor of Tool.
Andy French coming in. I be honest, I don't remember which team he's on.
I believe he's one of Soup's players. So that would put him on Tool.
Love seeing all these new players, but with another tag on, I just get confused.
Yeah, Andy French goes by a different name on the forums. Let's see here. And Tool getting that point. I believe Andy French is Alex M89 on the forums.
There he goes, adding that tag.
Excellent, and he's in, so once again, Tool is at a man advantage now, jumps back up to 9v8. However, they do have GCI Fiend is over on the point, defended against by Uber. Uber takes him out with some good aerials. Oh, look at that, 8 versus 2 is the current player count. There's a cap going down on point 4. They take it. And there's a core of players, double combo, one heavy, one demo, going exact same route again. It's worked for them before, why not again? We see they run into a sentry gun. Sentry gun's taken down by JF. They have a regular Uber. They're going to keep clearing the gun. Here comes the pyro. And there's a combo off the other side, the heavy. Look at that pincer movement they use, people jumping in constantly. And there's Unfor joining in. He gets a... Oh, that was a face stab on my screen. I'm sure he doesn't mind it. He goes down. It's one medic versus a soldier and a medic. GCI is going to hold on for a moment here. They're going to keep that defense up. However, we see guns from both teams coming up, mini sentries. The attacking mini is taken down. And GCI all down, but they just respawned in a wave. Tool with a bit of a longer run, obviously. You see that core, the two medics together with a pair of heavy damage classes, sticking together constantly for Tool, and then at the last second, just before they go in, they split up and they hit from both sides. Absolutely deadly. There's been excellent strategy that we're seeing from Tool here. Oh, strategy doesn't do anything when you take too many bullets in the face there. Fiend rolling out with his medic. It's going to be Shroot and Fiend. Little somebody touching on final. More action there. You see the spy dancing overhead. He drops in. He's not going to be able to take that, so we're going to see GCI pushing on there too. They get taken out by crits from Jesus.
Talking about tool strategy, my understanding is Zorbius led the scrims this week as well.
That will help a great deal with the overall coherence of the team. Having one consistent leader throughout the practices, throughout the match, that's great. And the fact that they were scrimming during the week with their appropriate person suggests that they had planned this roster well in advance, or at least parts of it, and it's paid off so far. They have 4 minutes and 42 seconds left. Reverine found a good spot as a soldier up there. That's a pretty solid defensive spot as long as you can find ammo. You see Unfor going back onto the point again. Oh, one of the soldiers doesn't notice, runs right off. They turn around though, he catches him. Little bit on that final, and then we see an Uber out here from GCI moving from 1 to 2. Coming overhead, and crits there. I believe those were just random crits. However, they meet a crits. Krieg is now coming back the other way on a soldier. That's going to be Andy French having just arrived with Bigger and crits again. We see down low, we haven't seen this route used a great deal that I'm aware of. We see Siegfried and Eumoria trying to come through underneath to approach the second point, lay a little spam down. They're also getting assistance from No Peace. Sticky trap being laid downstairs to make sure the counterattack doesn't come through that way. Plenty of players there from GCI. And there's the Uber. They're going to push out as a unit and see if they can seize this point. Here they are. They've got a combo with soldier help. The soldier's taken down. Oh, and the final control point is being contested. Is there anybody there to stop it? There is. There's, in fact, an Uber Pyro and a soldier. We see Unfor is still on the final point. I'll try to watch both of these best I can.
The final control point is being
There he is with the demo, and that's 5. That will end the half with 3 minutes and 8 seconds left.
Alright guys, it's halftime. Got 5 minutes or so if you need it. Talk some strategy, grab a drink or something. Then we'll swap cars and do this again.
So what we just saw there was a dominant performance by Tool. Now Tool did have an advantage almost throughout of one player more than GCI. GCI evened it up for a minute or two, and then Tool got their 9th. So Tool did have an advantage throughout, but the tactics they were using were clearly well honed, pre-planned. They didn't have to spend a lot of time in the moment sorting it out. They just did it. And compared with what we saw on the other side, I'm guessing that it was less organized, or that they didn't have kind of a plan B, perhaps, for if things didn't work out as well. We saw some adaptation on the fly in the center battles, but once the center battle was over, we saw the same thing repeat again. So Tool comes out swinging, and I'm pretty impressed with what we just saw.
Yeah, you could tell, even though they did have that man advantage, you could tell they had a solid strategy they were prepared to roll with.
Yeah, and they rolled with it very well. They got to the center quickly and en masse. We were seeing GCI arrive at center a little bit strung out, a little bit separated. Tool was showing up generally with their entire team within a second or two. And that's pretty tough when you have everything from a scout to a heavy. And the medics going in there, and the medic coordination was fantastic as well. They were almost always together with separate patients. They were well protected. I didn't see any dropped Ubers, I don't believe. So yeah, Zorvius and Tool doing a very good job. Over on GCI, European Slash, what would you like to see change for half number 2? What do you think the key is going to be for them?
I'd love to see him get a 9th player in here.
Yes, definitely. We always prefer an even match with maximum numbers, but
that's the one thing organizing these cups. That if we could play every match with even teams, it would just make me so happy. But we've yet to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, we can do certain nights with all nines, but a whole cup with all nines every time, I don't think that's happened. It used to be, however, much worse. It's very good the last few years, pretty much in the TF2 era, since perhaps, except for maybe the first year, I believe. It's been pretty solid with the teams mostly being all there. One year we had a bit of trouble. I think that was 2011. We had some trouble with, maybe it was 12, with teams not really manifesting themselves.
Well, that's why we took last week off, because looking at the attendance last year in the 2013 Cup, the week of July 4th was definitely when we had the most people out. So that's why we decided to take that off week and not have any pressure of people who wanted to do something on the holiday feeling like they had to alter plans because of the Cup.
Agreed. Yeah, last week, July 4th was on a Thursday. This week it was on a Friday. So it's just all going to be all the worse if we were to keep a match that week. GCI does still have one member, Greg H., who is online, but not in-game. If they can get his attention, it would obviously be very helpful to their cause.
I believe Memoria said he was expecting Dammits to show up around halftime.
That is true. He did mention that he might arrive for the second half. Dammit's a very, very good pyro, among other things. Jim currently on pyro instead of medic, though I imagine that's just for halftime shenanigans.
You know, and that may be the key to their success. It's early in the evening, so Jim maybe hasn't had enough to drink yet.
He does rather like to play with a little bit in him.
We're running on time here, so I'm willing to give them a couple extra minutes at halftime.
Yeah, the first match did end early. It's only 9:30 presently, so it's a half hour for the next 20-minute chunk. You can give them 5 or 10. And we'll be right on schedule. One thing we saw there at the with the caps, I mean, the whole team from Tool was contributing very, very well with all the attacks coming in. The medics Ubering at good times. Jesus Faction was annihilating people with his stickies and pills. But I think a lot of the actual capping was occurring from their Pyro and their Spy, Unforgiven, and Bad Street. Bad Street using Air Blast to keep the point clear, which is one of the best uses of Air Blast in my opinion, as it keeps people from blocking a cap. And Unfor just staying alive and jumping in there the moment people stepped off. It only takes a split second of all the people accidentally stepping off a point to cap it out from under them. And he did that 2, if not 3 times, I believe. Saw the heavy capture once. It was a whole big team effort, and all the team members were in on every one of those. It was good to see. So one thing we know already is a fact: we will not be seeing any teams with a perfect record this year. I believe a perfect record has happened twice before, once in TF2 and once Once might have been... Actually, it might be twice in TF2. I think it's once in TF2 and once in the last DoD Cup. TF2, it would have been the Moobs went 10-0. And we then saw a team in the end of the Cup years that were defeated by the Death Dealers in the final, I think, after going 10-0 during the regular season. So even a flawless push-through isn't enough to guarantee a victory in the end. We've seen our victors have won as few as 7 out of 10 matches when it comes to final, and both teams have readied up. So I think we're about to see ourselves underway. Here we go. Let's follow Tool on the breakout there. See what their trick is for getting everybody to the center together. You see some whipping going on. Some sticky jumping and such, but different routes being used. See a demo goes up high. Another person breaks off to the side, combo through the top. We see very clever, that's how Kulk is getting up to the top, slapping that dispenser down, hopping over it, and getting up there with his mini. And the whole team rides together. He's very slick with that move, and it's been doing well for him. It's become a primary focus of GCI to take out his sentry, which means we know it was being effective. Tool, of course, is now in blue. GCI is in red. A little bit less decisive of an immediate take from either team on the center here. We see GCI pops an Uber on one of their soldiers. They're going to go up there and take out that small gun, and then see if they can push off a couple of the enemies. However, there's bigger one behind them. He's already used his Uber. Oh, we see Unfor goes down. Shriek. Uber saws down the spy.
Even though Unfor got taken down, he was very effective in distracting that medic and keeping him from healing his teammates.
Absolutely. Every second the medic isn't healing is a second he's not building Uber. Double Ubers there, counteracting each other. Shriek and Siegfried versus Oddjob and Zorvius, who transfers over to Uber as well. Both of them are now off. Tool is in control of the middle point. A little bit less comfortably than they were last time around, so there may have been some strategy discussion. The 8th player being added over on GCI no doubt helps him out.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
GCI putting up a more solid defense this time.
Yes, they are. We're not seeing a just dramatic walkthrough, the steamroll, some people would call it this time around.
And look at that, big call all the way behind him to drop that mini.
He is so aggressive, it's remarkable. He's so good at it. It takes a very good engineer to play like he is playing.
And he's taking full advantage of the multiple pathways here to get around behind people.
Absolutely. We see Tool seizes the second point, and his mini-sentries are a big part of that.
GCI's got a level 3 left defending final now.
I think that's a good change for them. They were having trouble on final, big pushes coming in, and that mini-sentry they were using was utterly useless for knocking back Uber combos and such like that. A level 3 sentry will provide a bigger...
Control point is being captured.
Unfor's got a sap on
wow,
it, and then
sap,
he
stab, shoot. My god, that man. Unforgiven as a spy, solos out a level 3 sentry and multiple defenders to get the first cap of the second half. This time we're going to follow the path of GCI as they head out. See if there are any differences or if they're following basically the same route. So far, fairly similar. See a slight difference. One of their combos taking the lower left route. Coming up beneath the rocks.
Caught, same routine with that mini.
They're arriving at the center with approximately the same number of players, but once they get there, so far, Tool has appeared slightly more organized. They're focusing a little better on single targets, they're protecting each other well. GCI is fighting in pairs and threes, but they're facing 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s. Here you have Uber from GCI moving in there, as well as a Crits. Timed them together. They will stand right on that point, see if they can cap this out. There's still a mini-sentry above harassing them. It's not going to cover the whole point. They can cap it out from under it. There goes the gun. They need to stand on that point. That's one thing Tool's very good at, is when they have a free moment, everybody's on the point. There's a stab before taking out Fiend again. Fiend's got to be getting sick of that happening. GCI could have had more of a cap. I won't say that they could have taken that. They could have had a lot more of that cap if they had all jumped on the point. But Tool doing a good job, and you see how many people from Tool are focusing right onto that point at the moment. They move in and they stand on the objective until they have it, and then they do something else.
Time has been
There we
added.
go. That's so critical. Objective is the way you win. Level 3 on the second point goes down before the NG gets to it. Uber takes it out before
Our
it can be
control point
effective.
is being captured.
That's infuriating as an engineer. He was just too far away, probably trying to get supplies. Trying to rebuild his level 1 on the other. Tool just all over that whole arena. Every angle is theirs. They take it. Only the level 1 sentry is left behind as they just pretty much ignore it and run past. However, it's enough to take out one of their medics. And the other medic is trapped by it. Heavy coming back to lend support. There's some communication to get that done. Oddjob takes out the gunpoint. However, they lost a medic,
Our last control point is
and we
being
have
captured.
Uber on the point. He's getting help from Unfor. Oh, flying stab! But Unfor goes down to Siegfried's sticky bomb. And we're back to a mini-sentry. You see a mini-sentry on defense. Probably do that trying to get one up quickly. I liked having the bigger guns. Bigger guns, you know, they add a little more oomph. We saw it take out a medic. We saw that it's been a little slower for Tool with the big guns. See if he switches back if they get a bit more. We have a combo coming on the side. It's an Uber combo coming in against the mini-sentry and flanking behind the other team. However, GCI does still have one of their combos in the area as well as a... Okay, they have both medics in the area. One goes down. And down goes Oddjob. GCI still in control of their final area. Bad Street does Pyro scouting a little bit that upright route. Make them paranoid. See Unfor jumping in. He's hit by a mini. Really forgot what this guy is. Because he is not using the Eternal Reward. He is nice for a spy. Ooh, good Kritzkrieg there. Uber and Bigger knocking out Siegfried. They're coming out. Oh, another nice shot just through the door as it closes. Most of the combat classes are down. There's only one soldier left up for GCI along with the medics and Engie. This is an opportunity for that Tool team to get in there. The medic's defending against a soldier who's out of ammo, I believe, but that's going to be it right there, and that's going to be a second capture by Tool.
GCI is definitely looking better this half.
They are. They're slowing the roll. I think if they can get the center, they can make a game and get a good push in. It's going to be the big thing. They have to win a man advantage and then immediately take advantage of it, because when they're playing down a player, they can't be complacent. They have to be aggressive at the right moment and conservative the rest of the time.
Damage has just come online. Hopefully we'll see them join here.
That would certainly spice things up with a little over half time to go in the second half. Oh, the medic spotted Unfor, but not before he's able to take out their Evergreen. Tool mostly in control of the center, not fully, but mostly. Oh, there's a Vaccinator combo moves in. They're on explosive resistance, getting tagged by a mini-sentry, and there comes Engineer Shotgun to take out the Heavy with the assistance of his mini, and the Engineer mini then takes out the medic.
time has been had.
That was an engineer defense successful against a combo in an isolated open area. Nicely done, Big Caulk. There's Zorvius pops his Uber to counter Yumori's Uber. We're going to have Uber Pyro and Uber Demo going around the front end of the train car to get towards number 2.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Emperor by himself, dancing around a little bit. Good shot by Mega. Takes out Medic. It's an important pick right there. Jesus Faction, not pleased to lose his Medic, he turns around and takes out the Sniper. So there's a little bit of a fight in the backfield. Some reinforcements called back, they deal with it. The trail of frozen bodies tells the story of what just happened there.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Yeah, Tool definitely not dominating this match like they did the previous one there. They're in control, they have the advantage, but they're not just going wherever they want to like they used to. So GCI has figured out something that's working a little better. They're maintaining control of that number 4, which means that those combos pushing through on final aren't enough to do anything. Well, they can't cap final without 4. They've got 4 players, they have complete dominance of the final area, sentry gun and everything, but they don't have the number 4 point. And without that, okay, there we see Uber takes control of that area. He might be, nope, he gets taken out by Siegfried. And yeah, Tool's push on final was premature, they get eliminated. They need to go back, and they are in the process of capturing 4 now. They got it. And they're going to have to try and do that push on final a second time.
GCI just had another player come online. Who cares?
Who cares? Effective in Medic, Soldier, and Pyro, do I recall?
The control point is being contested.
Yeah, at this point, they'd take any one body they could get, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Who cares is a particularly good player, in my opinion. I remember watching him do some great things in the past. He previously played with Sultan and HL3. However, final point under threat, looks like Un4 was on it. He gets taken out by Nerevarine and Shriek.
He was just hanging out on that platform up top and dropped down when it looked like an opportune time.
That's what he's been doing all along, and it's worked quite well so far. A little less well now, GCI sorting things out.
Alert. The final control
Somebody's
point
in
is
there.
being contested.
Oddjob, Heavy was on the point. You see the entire GCI team with their Ubers popped. I believe that was both of their Ubers. One of their Ubers popped. Making sure that final point didn't go down. One Pyro causing a lot of chaos there. Jim Bean on Pyro just held off 4 people by himself, including a medic. Nice move by Jim there with the Pyro strafe.
He must be feeling that buzz now.
6 minutes, 40 seconds remain.
Crit's demo coming in, and Un4 on the point.
Ooh, just as the soldier jumps down. Too many people on the point for him. It capped so fast they weren't quite able to stop it. A nice move by Tool, keeping up the pressure. They got a little ahead of themselves for a while, but they never lost the number 4, truly, once they took it, and so they were able to keep using that pressure. Follow another Tool breakout. This is the opposite side of what we followed earlier. This is a much smaller group. You see a medic, soldier, and a spy. However, just a matter of which side of the room they spawned on. They join up with everybody else at the same time, same place. We get there, the engineer's already overhead building. teams in the later matches who are watching this can learn a lot from Big Culp's particular breakout. And we see Damitz is in the game. Tool has taken control of center. GCI is going to be going up to 9. Whoa, they have one person alive. One medic has escaped alive. Meanwhile, Tool is with 7 players, including an uber-ready medic. It's going to be a hell of a push that's going to be running through to point number 4 there. Big Call doing the honors while the rest of the team tries to push forward.
Unforced threatening again.
And once again, Big Hulk defending with his shotgun takes out the person threatening to countercap. And the demo goes down, so the sticky trap is off the point. I think that's what Unfor was just looking at. He's going to be happy to see the stickies gone. Oh, he got seen by the sniper, and they take him down. Look at that. I think that's 8 players on the final. 4 points for Tool. Damitz still in the process of connecting. 4.5 minutes remain in the match, or one more cap out by Tool.
Damitz is in the game now.
And yep, he blew into Pyro. He's practically a wall when it comes to explosive classes. Shooting things at him is very likely to get yourself or your friends killed, so best to use bullets. See the medics ubering each other for a moment there on GCI. Crit comes in the top from Andy French, knocks out Damitz overhead. However, they do have a mini-sentry. GCI has a mini-sentry up that's helping them. It's covering. We see the gun go down that Tool had built overhead. GCI still has a gun in place, and they are currently capturing the center. They have one player. Going to see Big Call go after him with a shotgun. Did a lot of damage, I believe.
That soldier on the high ground used to...
Yeah, that's Andy French up there with the original. Now, Tool has arrived with enough people. GCI was in a really good spot, but they just didn't have enough people still up after a big effort to get that forward progress to actually cap it out. And
GCI is running a spy now. Mega Kairos has switched over.
with their 9th player in, they feel comfortable putting a spy in the game. Of course, Tool has not seen an enemy spy yet, so it may catch them by surprise at first and make them a little worried. If they take a couple of backstabs, so that could be a good psychological factor for them.
Reflex there just took somebody out by damage.
And we see also Jim Beam trying to be the aggressive mini-sentry engineer, much like Hawk. When they go to 9, we see a lot of their tactics have immediately changed. They're now playing with full complement, and they are threatening center. It's a scout on center by himself. Fiend off heavy, now on scout. He gets taken down, but he does a lot of cap there. That forces quite a number of resources from Tool to come back to help cover. Stabbed by Unfor to help clear the way on that point. He's being chased by the Engie. He's cloaked successfully, and the Engie goes down. He goes down to Hotgun. But there's enough support in there. King and Umoria covering point number 2/4. Keeping it alive.
And unfortunately...
Oh, there's Andy French jumps over the top. He was not seen, and he's able to cover it. Andy protecting his medic against the scout and back with his demo forward. No, Damitz time's out.
Yeah, he locked up there on the point and got killed and then never respawned.
Connection problems are one of the most frustrating things in the world for a player in the Ville Cup. I've experienced them, and it's just no feeling quite like it. Alright, the battle looks like it's pretty much moving to the 4-5 now. Unfor gets seen and blown off the top of the point there by Nerevery. Oh, You see the Hulong coming out on the heavy protecting final. There's an Uber in there with the Pyro now. Soldiers just going to wait for that Uber to wear off and they drop in on him. Oh, look at that air blast! Save the medic at point blank, however he's not able to hold off the rest of the team. That was a great first air blast. Wasn't sure if he was even aware there was a soldier overhead. Clearly he was.
15 seconds.
Memoria clearly paranoid about Unfor. He's running the Hulong for the last few seconds. And time is up with a 4-0 in favor of Tool for the second half.
Good game, everybody. Good game. We'll see you all next week.
So that is going to put a dent in GCI's numbers, and is going to be a big, huge boost for Tool. Coming up next, by the way, we have Fist and the Teabaggers are going to be facing off. But, wow, the difference that makes in the scores is remarkable for those two teams. GCI was 4-0, they dropped to 4-2. Their differential goes from +1 to -8, and their match point stays the same. Meanwhile, Tool jumps up from 1-3 to 3-3. They're going to have, let's see, I believe that would be 17 match points. Their differential changes from -1 to +8, which would be the biggest one of any team, though obviously there's more to play. So that was a gauntlet thrown down by Tool right there, and having seen that happen there, I think these other teams, if they've been watching, they're going to be concerned about a couple of, they're going to know they need to work in an organized fashion. They're going to be concerned about people going overhead on the center. And obviously we won't be able to see, but I would be interested to know, perhaps chatting with them after the game, what kind of what kind of changes, if any, they made. Let's see if we can get Zorvius in here for an interview in the booth. I know people have been fond of those. He was the stand-in captain for that very successful team.
Hello.
Hey Zorvius, thanks for joining us here in the booth.
Hey, sure.
Congratulations, that was a hell of a turnaround from the first week. Last time we saw you on a 5 CP map, lost both matches. This time we see you on a CP map and you completely dominated both matches. Understand you've been leading the scrims and such for your team this week. Can you tell us anything about your preparations? How did you get your squad ready for this very impressive performance?
Well, I guess I had a whole 2 days to get us ready, so what with all that time, we really pushed getting communication together in the scrim. Many of our players, probably only 2 of our players really knew the map very well, including me. I did not know the map well. So we were even looking up callouts in the last 5 minutes, trying to get together. And it just worked out. Everybody on the team did their job great, and we had great communication, and I think we really wanted it.
Yeah,
after those last few matches.
Clearly you did, and you went out and took it. Who were your players who knew the map? Who did you have helping you with experienced strategy, as it were?
Uber knew the map pretty well. He's got a lot of experience. I think he's done some competitive play on it before. So he was integral in not only the important part on that map was definitely keeping the high ground, and he was excellent at that and knowing the places to do that. And pretty much we just, followed his lead on the locations, and that was what we worked on in our scrim a lot, was just where we were going to move through the map.
Yeah, you moved like a well-oiled machine. It looked like you were all arriving simultaneously at the center almost every time, and arriving on all 3 levels at once as well. The engineer Big Hulk going up over the top like that, and then just being so aggressive with his mini-sentry. Was that something you had all arranged in advance? Because it seems to have worked very well.
I think we have to give credit to Soup for fact that Big Talk is there to do that because he is brutal with those mini sentries. They're just everywhere you look. There's one of his mini sentries, and just by the time you see it, he's probably getting you with his shotgun. So
Yeah,
I
he
really
got
let-
quite a few shoddy kills too.
I left most of that up to the players. Un4 is an amazing spy, and you just let
Yes.
him loose, and he tears it up. Big Hawk is the same way, and that really let us concentrate on just our aggressive offense classes and the communication and the teamwork between them, and they took care of their job.
All right, well, congratulations to all you guys on Tool. That was very impressive. You've evened up your record now at 3-3, and you just changed your point differential from -1 to +8 in one fell swoop. So, very nicely done, and thanks for joining us.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You bet. Have a good one.
You too.